Here we go. Welcome to the first episode of The Final Whistle with Coach Stevie G. This series is all about getting to know the people and the personalities behind the footy tipping comp and having a bit of a laugh along the way. So, ladies and gentlemen, my very first guest is a man who is a crowd favourite and strongly recommended by none other than my wife, assistant coach, midwife Freckles. Now, this bloke is a footy tipping enigma. When he's not picking winners, he's bluffing his way through a poker tournament and reminiscing about the glory days as a junior squash champion. You might know him as TheRiddler. Others might know him as Slatherpuss. Please join me in welcoming Jason Garrard to The Final Whistle. Jason, are you pumped for the footy, mate?
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Uncle or Coach, in this case.
Mate,
glad to be here.
I do love the hat. It's all on brand. It fits perfectly with the thumbnail that we had to highlight the show.
It is. It's my good luck hat. I wear it every big poker tournament I play. I haven't run good so far, but it is. I would now wear it everywhere I go if you see me in public.
So tell me, mate, you pumped for the footy?
I am. I spent 8 hours in the lounge last weekend on Sunday for Vegas round. So that was very boring, but very good. A few blowouts there, but I'm 2 from 2. I'm happy. Good start. Good way to start the year.
You actually stole a couple of my questions because that was what I was going to ask about. But in the off season, you went to America, and that was going to be my segue into Vegas. But I want to hear a little bit about. People want to get to know Jason, right? The whole purpose of this is so the people within the footy tipping comp gets to know the people behind the scenes. So you went over to America in the off season. Tell us a little bit about your trip.
I did. I went to America for 6 weeks at the end of October. Got back in December. Hired an RV from LA and drove around the country. Visited 30 different states, including Vegas, where there was a bit of an interesting story. Visited the Jack Daniel factory, Jim Beam factory.
Wait. Hold on. Whoa. Interesting story, mate. You can't just throw a comment like it's an interesting story and not share it with the thousands and the millions of people watching live.
Well, let's just say I got to Vegas at 8 a.m. I don't remember getting home. I remember winning over 1,000 at the casinos on my strip adventure, and I woke up and I had no money. So what happened? I don't know. It's for everyone. Everyone can piece together what they want to if they know me. What should have happened with all this money?
We will definitely fill in the gaps. Mate, you've come back with no tattoo on your face. You haven't got a pet monkey. So, it's not you're not going too bad.
But I do have pet cats. So you might see them running around like bloody animals.
Now, tell me, I can't remember who it was. Was it Stephen or Peter that went with you over to America? So I know both brothers are in the tipping comp, but one went with you to America. Which one was
it? Peter did. P Hunt 13, or I think his name is, or P Hunt something. He was there the whole time with me. So he was sober in that Vegas trip, so he could probably tell a bit of what happened. I think he remembers.
So he might be the next one I interview on the podcast on the next episode, mate.
Absolutely.
So you said you watched the Vegas games last week. How many did you get? You said you got 2, right? Didn't you? What did you think of the games?
2 from 2, baby.
Well, you won up on me. So tell me what are your thoughts of the game? Give us a little bit of insight to what you thought about the games. Obviously, it was the Raiders and the Warriors first up.
Yeah, I think Raiders Warriors, that was definitely a toss up. Obviously, Ricky having a lot of youngsters in the team I had no clue which way to go. I just took a punt. It was to me 50-50. You never know with the Warriors as well. But yeah, got lucky there. It was a good game. I think Raiders defended really well and could put points on. So they might be in for a bit of a surprise season when I put them in the last 4.
Yeah, I thought the Warriors had really... Well, I picked the Warriors personally, which is why I thought they'd win. But watching their preseason, I know, it's preseason and you can only take it for what it is, but I really like what Metcalf and the Harbs combination had to offer lead into that game. And I was really disappointed that they didn't he didn't carry that form in. But I'll keep hanging on to the fact that they might go all right next week.
Well, I mean, they had good shape. I mean, when they did get the ball in attacking areas, they just couldn't finish it off, maybe due to lack of experience in the centres and on the wing. But I think they're in for an interesting season if they can get their halves together. If Metcalf can sort himself out.
Yeah, I don't disagree. They couldn't even get up there, though. You know what I mean? Like, they forwards couldn't get him in a position to try to attack, and when they did, they had absolutely nothing. But moving on, the next game, mate, the Panthers and the Sharkies. That was a good game, wasn't it? Panthers and Sharkies. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Panthers Sharks. That was a great game. I surprised Cronulla hung in there. Once Panthers were 2 tries up at halftime, I thought they'd just run away with it, but they stuck in and made a game of it. So very surprised it was close. These comments are wild.
That's what I just read. Well, you've got to answer it. You've got to.
Did I get married in Vegas? Beck, I don't remember. That's the problem. I could have. There were Elvis chapels that we walked past, so who knows what happened. But no, the game, was really good. I enjoyed that. I actually enjoyed watching that game. So good way to finish it off.
I could just sit here and read the chat all day. Now back to, mate, I was too entertained reading these chats. Tell me again, just really quickly, in one sentence, the Penrith Sharks. So
very high quality, entertaining game. Surprise Sharks hung around, but Penrith with too much quality.
Yep, can't disagree. And I didn't think, although I picked Penrith, I didn't think they'll start as hot. They traditionally, from my memory, over the last couple of years, start a little bit slower in the first round or two. Not to say that they lose, but they just don't look as sharp. But I tell you what, they looked switched on last week. So you'll be especially a brave person. That's right. You'll be a brave person to go against them next week. So who have you got tonight? Obviously, Roosters, Broncos.
I am on. Who am I on? I'm on Broncos tonight. I think Roosters have lost too much experience. I think I saw a stat through the week. They've lost 1,000 games of experience in the off season. Way too much, I think, to try and get over.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. When I scheduled this concept, and you put your hand up and accepted to come on, I didn't notice that there was a Thursday night game. Didn't realise that there's going to be a game on at 8 o'clock. So I'm going to make sure, and we will get through this definitely before kickoff, for no other reason. Everyone wants to watch the footy, and so do I. So we'll make sure this is all wrapped up by 8 o'clock for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so moving on slightly, your nickname.
The Riddler.
Tell the millions of people how you picked your nickname and why.
So everyone always knew me. I think I was just Jason in the comp forever. When I started back in 2005, when the comp first started, and I thought, you know what, I want a bit of. There was one season I think I didn't play, and no one, and then I didn't tell anyone I was coming back, but yourself, Steve. And so I went, you know what, I'm going to make a new email. I'm going to put in a fake number, change it to the Joker. My name's going to be the Joker. No one knew. I think till round 22, I was in the comp. And I think in that comp, I was top 5. And everyone on the post I'm seeing every week, who's the Joker? Who's the Joker? So that was in 2020, I think, or 2021. I then changed it to the Riddler to add a bit of mystery going on the Batman theme. But people caught on pretty quickly. I was still the Joker. So, and now it's just stuck around.
It has. Why not the Slutherpuss? Because there's a few blokes in here that know you. Some of my mates know you because you play poker with us, and there's a few other different things that you do with my mates.
Yes.
And you're known as a Slutherpuss, and I know you as a Slutherpuss. Why haven't you used that? Why haven't you used the Slutherpuss as your name?
ESPN did not allow my nickname.
Really?
To the PUSS of the Slutherpuss.
But my son can do Fet's luck.
That's luck. That's okay. So ESPN guidelines said no. That is why there is no Slutherpuss in the competition. Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as much as I'd like to follow the tradition.
Yeah. I didn't know that, and I don't understand why. I mean, the Slutherpuss doesn't seem overly controversial, but shit,
Who
what
knows?
do I know?
Americans.
All right. So we know you support the Eels.
Yes.
Who's your current favourite player, or past? We'll go with current and past favourite players.
Current favourite player, Jermaine Hopgood, just battler, does his job. I think commands the forwards, commands the team around. Former player was always Luke Bird and Nathan Hindmarsh during that time. Obviously, growing up, I know Lisa loves Luke Bird. So
it's Ben Muras actually.
Oh, Ben loves Luke Bird.
Ben despises him with a passion. Like as much as I hate Melbourne Storm as a collective team,
Tell me more. Why? What did Bird do to him?
I don't know how he's hurt him, but he has hurt him bad because you can't mention the name without him.
I think in round 3 we need to get Ben on the podcast.
He's definitely going to be one that I'm going to be hitting up to get on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not actually Lisa. I mean, Lisa might not like him either, but Ben's the guy.
Well, Lisa's the vocal one of the two, so probably why.
Can you remember what her display name is off the top of your head? Because I know she's changed it a billion times. I can't remember what it is. But
has she? No,
she has. She's changed it. She changed it to something about.
Is it something about the Roosters coming last?
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. She's actually on the chat. So Lisa, tell us what your display name is, so we can know. Now, listen, are you still a member of the Parramatta Eels? I know you were a member. You're sitting behind the goalpost. Did you let that lapse?
No, I'm not. It did lapse, unfortunately. As much as I wanted to get to games every week, I couldn't make it. So I thought I'd give up that membership. I know you are, though.
Yes. Definitely. Yeah, I've got 3 now, actually. Coyley. Do you remember Troy Coyle? He's in the footy tipping comp as well, one of my mates. And he's snagged the spot. He's asked for the last couple of years. And as you know, I can't get any extra seats around me. And I ring up every year to ask. Oh, there we go. The Slatherpuss.
There you go, Beck. Showing you my puss.
Yeah, right. I'm just clicking buttons here with the messages. I'm actually not reading half these messages, but I just thought I'll just keep them cycling through. But yeah, so Corley rings up and I ring up every year the footy club to see if I can get extra seats, and I typically can't. Mm-hmm. This year they said I could, so I grabbed a seat and rang Corley and
in the same row?
Right next to us. So we've got 3 in a row now. And I'll just keep adding to the seats. There's always someone, because it's just such a prime spot. I'll just keep adding to it. So if one becomes available, mate, you're definitely at the top of the list to get your name on that.
Try to make that. Yeah, definitely.
So what's your best footy memory as a fan?
Best footy memory? 2009 Eels Dogs, I think. Semi-final. That was a good one. Sold out ANZ Stadium. That was one of my first solo games I'd been to. Mum started letting me go to solo games, and for some reason she let me go to a semi-final on my own as a 09. What was I? What would I have been? A 15-year-old? See, what did they call it? The Eels. I can't remember what they called it. The Eels section at the time, but letting me go there. The Swarm. Yeah, it was the Swarm.
Yeah, right.
And abusing. Again, there were fights all around me in that game. That was interesting. But no, that was a great memory, obviously.
Do you know, I've got a little story to add to that. I've got a jersey downstairs, a signed jersey of that year. The old man gave it to me. And he had it framed like in a massive big frame at his place. He's taken the frame off the wall, taken the jersey out of the glass, wore it to that game, and then put it back into the glass. And it's never been the same since. But yeah, so I've never known anyone that has memorabilia like that's taken the jersey out, unpinned it all, and then wore it and put it back.
And he put it back on the pins.
Oh yeah, it looks shit, and it hasn't held up. But
Jesus,
yeah, there's a bit of a story for you.
Oh no!
Now listen, my best memory is well, not best memory, but one of the memorable moments was the first round of the stadium opening when you've got Moses running down the sideline. It's on all the highlights.
Eels Tigers, that was a good one.
Yeah, Eels Tigers, and we absolutely thrashed them. But the result wasn't this. It made it a lot better. But the atmosphere of that stadium opening up, and it was such a hype. Going through the hard times at Homebush and with the rebuild and all the rest of it, that I don't know why, but that one sticks in my head definitely. What about mate? What about a heartbreak? What's the biggest heartbreak? There's been a few. Being an Eel supporter.
So a lot of people think it would be Eels Penrith a couple of years ago, but no. The most heartbroken I was actually that same year in 2009 in round 26 when we lost 40-0 to the Dragons, or 40-6 or whatever it was to the Dragons, because it was the 1 week my granddad and brother from Coffs came down to watch Eels Dragons. So we made the hike to Cogra. And there I was, we're on 9 in a row, and I'm cheering. This is great. And we got pumped 40-0 and rested half the team.
But obviously they're Dragon supporters, right? I don't know who your dad goes for.
Yeah, they're Dragon supporters. So they were giving it to me. And I'm there, the only one on the Cogra Hill with my Eels jersey. And I'm like, we'll win next week. There's a 15-year-old. I'm just head down. Yeah.
I knew there was a reason why I didn't like your old man, and I reckon that's now that's at the top of the list. A Dragon supporter. What a loser.
You've got this on YouTube, Uncle.
Yes. And I'm very happy for you to send it to him just quietly. My biggest heartbreak was the semi-finals. Oh, if Jack's not here, he always reminds me. I don't know if it was 2005? 17-18, semi-round Raja, Melbourne semi-final. Yep. And we get done. And I've never
was the Cowboys game, wasn't it? I think I was with you.
No, it was Melbourne with the whole family. We all drove to Melbourne.
Oh, that was... Yeah, actually, yes.
I don't know. What year was it? Was that 16 or 17? What was the year we got to the semis with semi-Raja? That was 17. The year I really thought we...
I think it was 17. Yeah.
Mate,
it was election day.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was election day. I was, I think I was letterboxing for mum or something.
You're right. I definitely didn't vote, that's for sure. But actually, I do remember that being a thing. I think I got booked too. So we left at like 4:00 in the morning. So it was just, the sun wasn't even out. And we were on the freeway. It's just gone past Liverpool, or I don't know exactly where we were. Where's the police, where they do the training for the cadets for the police force? It's on their way.
Goulburn.
Yeah, it was just as we were heading to Goulburn.
Yep.
And no one on the road. When I say no one on the road, it was like I said, 4:30 in the morning, not a single person on the road. And idiot me was in the right-hand lane on the freeway. And next thing I know, there's sirens, pulled me over, and he fined me and pinned me for being in the right-hand lane, not being in the left-hand lane on the freeway. I looked at him and I thought he was taking the piss. I go, are you serious? I said, mate, there's not a single person on this freeway, either going in my direction or the other direction. And I said, you're going to pin me for not being in the left-hand lane. But because it was near Goulburn, he just wanted to, they're training. They've got to do what they've got to do. But I wasn't happy.
I've done that drive a few times, and let's say a few rules were broken. I've not been done. Thank you, Waze.
I don't know. I say that I got fined. I don't know if I got off. I know Beck. I think Beck in Beck's very good at writing letters. I think we did try to get me off it, but I don't know if we were successful. No, I just explained. If we did it, I can't remember if we did. Beck would jump on the chat and tell me if we did or not. But I know it was an issue. That was the start of what was to be one of my worst weekends. Although I really enjoyed, went to the jail. It was the first time I think all of us as a family went to Melbourne.
Nice.
Yeah, as a group. But the game, I've never felt like I have at that game. I was absolutely ropeable. All right, mate. I'm going to move on to a little bit of the footy comp. So, yes. What's your best finish in the footy tipping comp?
I'm going to say last year I was shaping like almost a top three. I think I finished 8th or 9th, trying to chase some points to get in top three. I think there was a lot of phone calls, analysis last year that didn't go my way. But I think last year was my best on paper. But I have won the team's comp 3 years in a row.
Yes, well, funny you say all this. I actually have looked up your stats, and being quite prepared for today's conversation, I have looked to see where you've come. I only wrote down the last 3 years. In 2022, you came 42nd on 133 points. He won't worry about the margin. In 2023, he came 58. So he went down the ladder in 23 on 129 points. And then in 2024, last year, you were 15th.
Oh,
so
I dropped that far?
You dropped that far. And it might have been, I haven't got it in front of me. I've only got the notes that I wrote down, but on 135 points. But it might have been the margin that dropped you down. But your margin wasn't too bad. You got
I did, yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Because I know I lost after the first round of the finals, I lost every game trying to chase points. But yes, that's well, this year is going to be easily my best performance, as I intend to watch every game, go full in analyst mode, give up poker for NRL this year. That's the plan. I want to win the 20th anniversary comp.
It's my plan every year. It seems to match out, but I hope you have more luck than me. But listen, while I've got this still up on the screen, I might as well run through some of these other stats that I've got here for you. 2022, you, as you said, Team Johns, you won the Team Johns trophy.
Number one.
Against Team Meninga. It was 45-36, so you really smashed them in the teams event. That was the first official year for teams. In 2023, you won the teams comp with Team Beatson against Team Meninga, 55 points to 49. So you still beat them pretty convincingly in the grand final of the teams comp. And then last year, runners up, Team Beatson against my Team Meninga.
That's right. I didn't get the 3-peat, did I?
No, you got to the grand final 3 times. You got to the big dance, but you didn't get the victory. So you've had a few freebies into the tipping comp over the last 2 or 3 years.
This is my first paid entry, which is why I missed entry into this.
I'm going to say
team's comp.
So you're outside the first 64. So I think you are the first reserve. I did look that up. I don't have that here, but I think you are the first reserve. So it is possible that someone drops out. And I've done the teams.
That's fine. Last man standing is all me.
Yeah. So what else we got here? I got last year daily endpoints. So you got 7 daily endpoints. I think the winner had 14 or something like that off the top of my head. I don't have that stat here, but you got 7 daily endpoints. You managed 2 daily endpoints in the first round. So this time last year, you managed to get 2 points in the first round of daily end. So you must have tipped well in the first round last year. And you only got 1 full round last year. And that was late. That was round 24. You got a full round. And I haven't included the finals with the bonus points with the full round. So there you go. That's a little bit of a wrap up of your tipping prowess. What else have we got here? Who's the one person in the comp you want to beat?
To beat, it's got to be the other uncle, Phil. He always loves to talk up his footy knowledge. Thinks he knows a lot about the game, what's going on every year. I don't think he's beaten me for the last 3 years in a row. So,
beautiful.
Definitely uncle.
Yep, very nice. I think I might be. I think I'll share that same answer with you. I think I haven't given it any thought, but he'd definitely be right at the very top of the list. What else have I got here? Who do you think will win the 2025 Footy Tipping Championship? So who do you reckon is going to take it out this year in our Footy Tipping comp?
I'm number one.
Right. All right. I'm going to reword the question. Who do you think is going to win in 2025 apart from yourself?
It's got to be the name change, Coach Stevie G.
Yeah,
you've got to win 20th anniversary. If you don't, there's something wrong.
Mate, I didn't actually pay for you to say that, but very, very good. Now I see a logo popping up every so often near the final whistle logo. So is there a little bit of brand recognition there? We're gonna have to get them as a sponsor, I think.
I have their legendary garlic sauce as well, just as a bit of a promotion here. No, there could be something in it for the winner. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, very nice, very nice. You want to share why we're advertising Eljana's?
I work for Eljana in the IT department, so I get fed every Wednesday. It's good. And I get to crave all the discounts. Hence why I put on a kilo or 2.
Very, very good, mate. If you get that over the line and be loving you forever. Now, listen, who's got no chance? We said who we think's going to win it, and I'm happy to accept that trophy. Who's got absolutely no chance?
Mum.
And we can't say Phil.
Mum. Mother Michelle
right.
Garrard, Deputy LM, I think her name is in the game. She's no hope, absolutely no hope. And I think every year she comes last or near enough. It's a battle between her and Beck for last place on the tipping comp normally.
Did you watch the live teams draw all the way through to the end?
Not to the end. I saw till my team, and then I did
stop,
tune
right?
out.
Because, as you know, I do a write-up on everyone, and I did a write-up on Michelle. Her achievements in the footy tipping comp is the longest out of everybody. She's won pretty much everything in the footy tipping comp.
How many would not?
Every award. That's probably the only thing she hasn't. Every award that's available in this tipping comp, she's pretty much won it. So
has she?
Go back and have a look at the write-up. I couldn't believe it either. When I was doing all the stats and facts, I thought, Jesus Christ, when's this going to end? So there you go. I wouldn't have her. I agree with you in the sense that she's absolutely trash, but the stats don't lie. And she's the highest, won the most in the tipping comp. Your tipping strategy, mate. That's the final question before we go into a bit of a rapid fire round, because we're getting close to 8:00 and I really do want to watch the footy. But what's your strategy for the?
Strategy is early on, watch a lot of the games, figure out who should win or form, but then once you get later in the season, you need to see what most people would pick. I think to then either if you're chasing points, you need to go against them, or if you're leading, follow the crowd.
Yeah, right. Did you go in last man standing? I just saw something pop up on the chat about last man standing.
I did, and I tipped someone left field. I picked Tigers.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that just before we hopped on live. So you picked the Tigers, and someone in the footy tipping page that I can't recall who it was. I think it's Dolo, but I'm not sure. Said that I think the four big teams where the majority of people picked, if they all go out and the Tigers win or something along these lines, you end up being round one, last man standing winner as a standalone.
I don't understand why I'm the only person that picked Tigers. I think Tigers are definitely underrated this year, and going into round one, they should be favourites, and they're not. So, wow.
Well, I think Tigers are playing the Newcastle Knights. Yeah, Newcastle Knights. Yeah. I think they're favourites on the sports bet.
No.
Tigers?
No, they're paying $2.20.
Well, they were favourites at the start of the week because I think I've got the Tigers, and I only picked it. Here's a little bit of insight for me. For the last 2 years, I've been picking favourites for the first round. I only picked the favourites for the first round, and then I pick my own tips for the rest of the season. And I go with the idea that I've got no idea who's going to win the first game because it's got no form to go off. And if anyone remembers last year, the first round I think had like 6 upsets out of the 8. And I think I only got 2 points or something, which could be the same this year as well. But I've got no idea. But I don't need to tell everybody that. I think they've all worked that out by my results. All right, so we're nearly 8:00. We're just off 8:00. So I'm going to do some rapid fire questions. So short, sharp answers, so we can get over and get done not long after the 8. So think fast.
Yep.
The greatest NRL player of all time.
Joey Johns.
The best current player in the NRL.
Oh, no, it's got to be Cleary, unfortunately.
The biggest grub in the game.
Michael Ennis or Reid Marnie.
Yeah, can't disagree. One NRL rule you would change instantly if you could.
The 6 again.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, don't disagree. Golden point or extra time?
Extra time.
Best bet of the round. So if you're going to have a bet, what's your best bet of the round?
South's paying $1.80 against Dolphins missing 5 players.
Yeah, that's crazy. I might get it on a piece of that, actually. When's that? Is that tomorrow night?
That's tomorrow night, 8:00.
Yeah, I might get on that. Who will win the premiership in 2025?
I have a feeling Manly will.
Yeah, I've got a soft spot for them. Actually, I don't want to say that out loud. There's too many Manly supporters that I know in this group.
That's true.
Who will get the wooden spoon?
Roosters, followed closely by Tigers.
I'm not going to go down. I'm going to try to scroll and get my questions out, but I can imagine what the comments are saying right now. Who will win the tipping comp in 2025? Have I asked that?
You said it before. It's going to be one of us two.
Okay, I'll take that as an answer. And the last question: if you could host a barbecue and invite 3 people, who would they be?
Fletch, Hindy, and Matty Johns.
Yeah, you came up with that pretty quickly. So you basically just bring Foxtel with you, or the Fox Sports.
Yes, absolutely. I'm in tears every Matty Johns show, so happy days.
Do you watch Matty Johns and his son Cooper, the podcast?
Yeah, I watch their podcast.
That's sensational. They do, mate. That's where I aspire to get to talk shit like that on a podcast. Well, that's your 10 questions. That's the rapid fire round done. I'm going to wrap it up. We could talk all day, and maybe next time I will schedule a half an hour early where we start at 7 o'clock. I've got a little bit of an ending spiel. Well, that's full time. Big thank you to Jason for jumping on and giving us the inside scoop into what's going on in his footy brain. If you've enjoyed it, leave a comment. Let me know who you want on in episode 2, or better yet, nominate yourself. Keep your tips smart, your banter sharp, and remember, it's all fun and games until the final whistle. All right, mate. That's it.
Thank you.
Well run.
Enjoy
the footy.